This is KWR, telling our story together. Huu ni wakati wa maarifa na taarifa na kasisi. Karibu sana msikilizaji wangu. People back home have different mental picture of those of us who live in the diaspora, and mainly those who live in the West. Most of the images that people think of or have about us people in the diaspora come from what is reported in the media, which is almost always negative. People assume that majority of us work slave hours, flipping burgers at McDonald's or KFC. If not, there are those who think that majority of us are those two washmen or kawashmen patrolling at night with kabuti, gumboots, amulikamuizi, and arungu. Others assume that we are caretakers taking care of the elderly and the very sick at home as maids. Today, I want to share with you a story of a diaspora from Tanzania that speaks to the courage and the courageous steps that Africans in the diaspora have taken. The story has changed, and the story is great, and the story is positive. This is one among many. This is KWR, telling our story together. Columbian paper, which is a local magazine in Canada, reports that Tanzanian James Bonny Mbuya owns a coffee shop in Uptown Village, Vancouver, Canada. The coffee hour is called Rich Land Hub. James Mbuya is from Tanzania, near Mount Kilimanjaro. His business, Rich Hub, offers coffee, tea, cacao, cashews, and honey that Mbuya imports from Tanzania. Mbuya works with Tanzanian farmers to help them raise money to build new hospitals in rural Tanzania. Like most of us from East Africa, Mbuya, who is a Shaga, grew up in a village where coffee farming is a big source of revenue for local farmers. How did his journey begin to become a businessman? He started off by seeking a degree and moved to California to attend Chaffee College in 2009, just as most of us have already started their journey by attending college in the United States. He earned his undergraduate degree in computer engineering, his master's degree in cybersecurity, and finally, he enlisted in the USA Navy, working in the combat engineering battalions. While in the US Navy, Mbuya served in Afghanistan and the Horn of Africa, where, together with others, helped build bridges and buildings in combat zones. We have a big group of Kenyans who are serving or have served and honorably retired from the Army, from the Navy, and from the US Air Force. The journey to Rich Land Hub for Mbuya. Mbuya decided after college to move to Vancouver in 2014. And in 2018, he founded Rich Land Hub, named after the rich, according to him, after the rich land in Tanzania, where almost anything they plant will grow, so he said, and so it is reported. At first, his business was solely online. What was his motivation? The main goal for him, according to Mbuya, is to connect directly with farmers in Tanzania and know where the product is coming from. He says, "One thing that I have learned is that a lot of people helped me along the way. It solidified my will to help other people. I know the need and the struggle of all of them in the rural area, he said. Women are the majority of the coffee farmers in and around hometown, and they deal with healthcare access. Mbuya continues to say, one thing that is really tough for me is that in rural areas, access to hospitals is a big, big problem. People have to go very far to get medical attention. A lot of women die because they cannot make it to the clinic before birth. How is this possible, he asks. They don't even have access to medical information to know what to do before birth. Mbuya has traveled to Tanzania multiple times and met with a lot of farmers. In 2019, he imported his first 5-ton shipment of coffee from the farmers. His idea was first to sell it unroasted, wholesale, and in small batches, online and in person. According to the report, there was a lot of trial and error for Mbuya, who had never done anything to do with international trading, importing, or selling. As the coffee was making its way to the US, he still had not figured out how to clear it with the US customs, and he had to scramble to hire agents to do it for him. This is one of the common mistakes that upcoming businessmen and women from Africa do. It was a very tough experience, he says. Once the coffee was brought to a warehouse in Portland, Mbuya started cold calling and emailing coffee roasters to buy his coffee. The very first company I sold was Hidden River Roasters in Kamas, he says. It was a good feeling. It was really challenging, but it was rewarding because I got to learn a lot. As Mbuya gained more customers and imported more coffee, he always wanted to open a coffee shop in Vancouver. One morning, while driving around, he discovered the current spot where his business is, which used to be Starbucks coffee shop and was available for lease. Mbuya's Rich Hub held a soft opening on April 22nd, and a grand opening is scheduled on a date in May. Renovations are nearly complete to give the space wooded accents and African art that reflects Chaga people in Tanzania. I want the customer to experience what the land has to offer, he says. The soil can grow about anything. That is the idea of Rich Hub. It comes from the rich land, and it is a hub for everything. This report was compiled by Will Campbell, the Columbian Innovator editor. A few pointers, which is very true about people in the diaspora. First of these is resilience, that you have to keep going. You have to keeping on. You have to keep trusting your guts. You have to trust that things will work out eventually. Against all odds, he started off as an immigrant, going to school. I'm sure paying a lot of money for college, just like most of us have, and eventually joining the United States military arm, the Navy. Mbuya also has passion, and this is what drives most of the successful immigrants in the US. Passion to accomplish something, passion to go beyond, passion to get out of the box. Mbuya also is moved by service to his people, to his community. One thing that I've learned myself is that when you give yourself to the community and when you serve without any reservation, things will work out for you. Like most of us, Mbuya saw the opportunity and he never hesitated when he saw it. Of course, it was not going to be easy, and it is not easy even today, trying to break through all the barriers that are there. And most importantly, as one who comes from Africa, those barriers are many. I can attest to that. But he also had creativity, and he has creativity. You have to see the opportunity, but you also have to be creative and see how you can exploit that opportunity. Otherwise, that opportunity will pass, because opportunity comes to us once in a lifetime. Once all these happened to him, of course, the stars aligned with his vision. Stars will align with you. Nature, the universe, God, people will align with your vision when you have the resilience, when you fight against all odds, when you are led by passion to do something great, when service is a motivator, when you don't lose any opportunity when you seize it, and creativity, or you allow creativity to work for you and with you. This is not just a Mbuya story. This is a story of many Africans in the diaspora. Keep watching, keep following, and we'll share more stories, positive stories of Africans in the diaspora who are successful, who are doing a lot for the community, and who continue believing that something good has come from Africa, and that Africa has always been a good place, a place for innovators, a place for great men and women. Thank you.